love it. The calls.
You'll eventually get the 20% back. That Silver Connect card is going to pay her co-payments. Remicade, I believe, is an injectable, and her hospitalization co-payments. And tell them to turn his Part B on.
All right. Producer Tom gives me the cue. Good to see everyone. Producer Nick in the studio. Producer Tom. Jasmine, good to see you. All right. Today is the 11th of April. Hope everyone had a great Easter and a Passover. Happy and healthy. Today is the topic prescriptions. Prescription formularies. And most importantly, small businesses that are kicking butt, taking names, doing what they can to survive. I am lucky enough to have in the studio Robert Bradley, goes by Bob, because when I called him, he called himself Bob. Robert Bradley and his wife own Beacon Falls Pharmacy. And welcome to the studio.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right, well, let me give you a little background why you're here. I was so impressed with the article in the Republican American. The local paper really does a good job. Totally, non-discriminatory. They just tell it like it is. I was reading the newspaper, and I'm saying to myself, yeah, here is a small business kicking butt, beating up the big bullies, and doing it with class. I know you deliver, which is first class. I mean, that's another overhead cost to you. I saw your billboard on Route 8. And I'm going to basically let Bob tell his story. But listeners out there, first of all, great seminar last week in Middlebury. I can't thank my clients enough for inviting me. I had an AARP seminar at the Senior Center in Middlebury, and 3 people asked about prescription costs. And I'm saying to myself, you know what? This is a topic people want to know. Can they shop a prescription around? Do they have to just go to said pharmacy, big box shop? And the answer is no. So, Bob, I'm going to take the caller on line 1, which is my Mattatuck Minute. Once we're done with that, we're going to pivot into you, and you explain how you and your wife are hopefully building an empire. So,
okay, thank you.
Caller on line 1, how are you?
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Yeah, nice to hear your voice, Stephanie. I got a little cold today, so how are you doing?
We're great over here. We've got a lot of changes happening. We just hired a new development director.
Excellent.
And she came on board Monday. We're very excited to have her. She's here with me, actually. It's Eloise Mangelo.
Eloise, how are you? First of all, I was lucky enough to meet Eloise Mangelo. Not Mangelo, Mangelo.
Right.
And what an intelligent, classy woman she was. She was such a presence, really ready for the interview. I think we grilled you for about an hour, and you knocked it out of the park. You took it with stride and made it look easy.
Thank you very much.
My
it was
pleasure.
really great getting to meet all of you that night.
Now, this is what I didn't tell you when I interviewed you, that a few days later you'd be on the air.
That's right.
What we have done, I'm lucky enough to be a board member. So with the addition of Robert Burns, goes by Bob, but with the addition of Bob, Stephanie Harris and I decided we would, at the top of my show, which is every bi-weekly, we would give my seniors, or my Medicare-eligible beneficiaries, as I'm supposed to refer to as, we would give my listening public out there a chance to go over what's happening at the museum. It's really working because people are coming up to us, Stephanie, and saying, hey, we heard about this event, we heard about this. So what's happening at the Mattatuck Museum this week? And please touch base on last Thursday night because it rocked.
Yeah, absolutely. First Thursday last week was phenomenal. We had the Gomez and Sadlon Jazz Duo. They were here last year. We had a lot of requests for a repeat performance, so they came by again, and it was a great time. We had an awesome turnout, seeing it was the beginning of Easter weekend, and they rocked the house. It was awesome.
They did rock the house. I saw Marie Galbraith over there tapping the feet. I saw Jan and her husband. I saw you there, Susie, Dr. Rosnoy. Everyone was there. Good turnout.
Absolutely.
All right, I must criticize myself. I have to. What a boog I am. What a boog. I go over and see my buddy John Famigletti, who I've known for 15 years. He and his wife Pam are good people. And real estate's been a little slow lately, special commercial real estate. So I go over and see him. He's in a great mood, and we're talking about a property he recently just sold. First of all, do not talk at a jazz concert. Even though I was whispering, I am apologetic. I was rude. I should not be even whispering. The people next to me, who obviously were definitely into the jazz situation, they were like, shh. So that won't be happening again. What a boog.
And we have some serious listeners that come to that.
They
event.
were so intense. They were like, shh. So that won't be happening again. I gotta put my beret on and my hip glasses and grow a little goatee and sip some wine or something. I mean, they definitely were cool. It was a good eclectic scene, which is right up my alley. I believe I met a gentleman who's in charge of the Litchfield Jazz Festival. His name was Michael.
Mike Gow, he produced a lot of the performers there. Yeah.
Yeah, he was there and he was plugging his event. So what do you have on the agenda for this weekend?
Well, actually, his event is coming up on Saturday. Jane Monheit, who is a huge name in jazz. She's a vocalist. She'll be here with 5 other ladies, other singers, a trumpet player or 2, a saxophonist, all performing here Saturday night at 7 o'clock.
All right.
Go to our website, www.mattatuckmuseum.org, and all the ticketing information is there. I'm really excited. Mike's been talking to us for weeks about having Jane Monheit at the museum, so we're very excited to have her.
And we're also excited to have Eloise.
Right, that's right. Eloise will be there. We'll be behind the bar serving the wine, so it'll be a good night.
It's really a lot of nice changes happening. Change is good, and I think that the recruit, I mean, it was a search for a long time. I think we have a very good leader, excellent work with development. You have a really good developmental background, and we're really honored to have you as part of the team. So,
thank you so much. I'm really, really happy to be here as well.
Yeah, it's my honor to have you on as the show. All right, Mattatuck Minute, another productive Mattatuck Minute. Stephanie, always a pleasure to talk to you.
Hey, we'll talk to you later, and I want to see that beret next time, Mike.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go to some kind of groovy consignment shop or something.
Okay, sounds good. Talk to you later.
Catch you later.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, so Bob Bradley, take it away. Explain how you and your wife are competing.
Well, we have a full-service pharmacy. We've always felt that insurance is really the great equalizer because if you have insurance, you'll pay the same copay at a small independent as you will at a big box store.
Okay, so explain that to my listeners. You have United Healthcare, Anthem, Connecticut.
Well, you have a prescription to fill. You come on in, and every prescription that we fill, we have to adjudicate through these insurance companies, and they actually tell us what we are required to charge. If they calculate the copay as $20, that's what we charge. We don't really set that ourselves. The insurance companies do.
The regulatory systems, what's?
No, it's just the contracts that the insurance company has with the people who are paying for the insurance.
Okay, sure. Same as a physician, whatever the stated contractual rate is.
Exactly. We can't charge any more or less than that. We're required to collect it, and we can't change that amount. What we do have control over is the cash price of drugs. If someone does not have insurance, say someone's been laid off and has lost their insurance, the cash price is what we set. And we try to be fair and competitive on that. And we were kind of surprised one day because we always presumed ourselves that the big box stores may be better, have lower prices than we do. We had a customer come in one day asking for a quote, and we were very surprised to find that we were substantially less expensive than one of the big box pharmacies, to the point where I think our price was around $50, and they were being charged at $180 at the big box pharmacy. So we did a little research. We found out that this was really more of a pattern than we had expected, and as such, we're trying to key in on that now and look for folks who may, through no fault of their own, not have insurance and are paying too much at some of the larger stores. Okay, so any of you under 65s out there that have either pure catastrophic insurance with a very high deductible, or some of these HSAs are horrendous for the prescriptions because the total cost of the script is out of pocket first,
right?
That's
Would
right.
that be considered a cash purchase?
That is correct. And also, on even some of the folks who are over 65, there are certain drugs that are not covered by the
Formulary.
Medicare D. Like the benzodiazepines, I think are the ones that my wife
Absolutely
told me
no
about.
benzos. What Bob is referring to here is you've lost your spouse, whether it be a husband or a wife, and the physician or your counselor feels that an antidepressant would be good for you. Well, the insurance companies don't cover those.
That's right.
That's absolutely not covered.
So anyone who does not have coverage, you'll find that if you come to us, you're going to get a fair price. We're not looking to mark things up ridiculously.
Okay, so give a list what a particular benzo.
Well, I don't have any off the top of my head. My wife's the pharmacist, and she can rattle them off very easily.
Lexapro.
Yeah, that would be one. And again, I can't tell you the price of it without
Prozac.
Coming in to see me, but I think you'll find that we are substantially less in most cases than these big box stores.
Correct.
We had one particular drug, and I forget which one it was offhand, but the price ranged from anywhere from the $20 range to $333 for the same drug, depending on where you went. We're closer to 20, and it was quite a shock to us to see that broad range.
Right. So now explain the Republican American article, and it got my attention. Hopefully it got some business for you.
Well, basically, it was just that. The Republican interviewed me, and we came up with a list of a half a dozen or so drugs. They went and talked to several of the big box stores, from the Costco's to the CVS's to Walgreens, Rite Aid, and also 2 or 3 other small independents. And what they found was that the independents were consistently less expensive than most of the big box stores. Now, we don't typically compete with the Costco's. They really have a discount there.
A stranglehold.
They have a stranglehold, and they can buy in such bulk that it's tough for us to call that a fair competitor. But the bigger pure pharmacies were surprisingly more expensive across the board than were the small independent pharmacies.
And maybe one of the reasons being is when you have a little Robin Hood diner, which, by the way, had one of the best tuna fishes in the market, and you buy the complex and knock it down and do blasting and build phenomenal rock walls, someone on the corner up there, I'm not going to say any names for HIPAA, but it's a big pharmacy over near the wine bar. That complex costs money. So there's overhead associated with these large chains, and they need to recoup some of that. The number one cost in a pharmacy is the prescription. Lipitor, when Pfizer had a total lock on that, was the largest selling prescription in the history of time. So the pharmacists knew that they could go to work for the big box shop and pretty much price whatever they wanted. Now here comes the underdog who's just doing great. You and your wife are setting a precedent for the community to give you a shot. And let me also plug Bunker Hill Pharmacy advertises on WATR. They're a good people. I reached out to them, but I'll have to have that for another show. This is Bob Bradley's show today. But Bunker Hill or Nelson's or Della Petra, these are the pharmacies in our area. You have Beacon Falls Pharmacy in the Naugatuck Beacon Falls area. Give them a shot. If anyone's listening out there, it's 203-757-1320. Bob can take information back with him. He's told me twice his wife's the genius behind the show. She's the pharmacist. But I have a client who's interested. She asked me at the seminar. She lives in Middlebury. She heard you delivered. How do they go about finding their 4 or 5 drugs if you are competitive?
Well, they just need to call the pharmacy and tell us.
How's that?
Well, the number is 203-729-4567.
Okay, Bob, this is a good time oldies show. Nice and slow. They've got to go get a pen and everything. Slow down. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. Try it one more time. It's 203-729-4567. And you can also find us on the web at www.bfpharmacy.com.
All right. So hopefully everyone got that. The concept is go local, spend local. If you can save money, is there any cost for the delivery? I know you deliver.
No, we offer free delivery to Beacon Falls and the adjacent towns.
Really? Yes. What's the perimeter? Just a guess.
Basically, that would be Beacon Falls, Naugatuck, Seymour, Oxford, and Bethany.
Right on. So you got quite a range there.
Oh, yeah, it's a good big area.
And I know that I've got listeners in that area because when I do my seminars in Naugatuck, Harvey says that he'll get the draw from Beacon Falls. And you're located right downtown?
We are right on Main Street in beautiful downtown Beacon Falls, directly across from the fire station.
They've done a lot of work over there. I see the uprising. Now, when you coordinate with the formulary, how do you and your wife set a price? Is it a 50% markup, 33% markup? What's a general parameter?
Well, we don't really have a specific percent that we mark things up. Typically, it's typically in the 25 to 30% range ballpark, but frequently we'll call around and check what some of the competition is doing, some of the big box stores, and we'll typically knock 10 or 20% off of what the big box stores are selling it for and try to price it in that general range.
Okay. Producer Nick likes to keep the YouTube shows to about 18 minutes. Can I ask you to stay for another 5 or 10 minutes, just for a few calls?
I'll be happy to.
All right, we're going to plug the sponsors. 203-757-1320. Please call in with any prescription questions you have. If you've been paying an exorbitant amount and you think it's a little expensive, give Bob Bradley and his crew a chance. All right, we'll talk to you in a few minutes.